Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be testing out and creating 3 looks, including this look on my eyes, using the brand new Nomad Provence palette. So hopefully this video will give you some inspiration for this palette. So if you are interested in that, then just keep watching. Here is what the outer packaging looks like. I always love Nomad's packaging. They do a great job with that. Another thing I love about Nomad is the embossing on the eyeshadows. I think they make it really fun and creative. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it on camera. This yellow one has a flower, a wine bottle. Some of them have the Nomad logo on it. Some other ones have a bee, some grapes, some macaroons, some lavender, and some mountains on it. So I always love their embossing on this. I think they do a really good job with that. And I also love the color story, how they have the lighter toned mattes up at the top, and then the second row is all shimmers, and then this bottom row here is all of the deeper matte shades. And you can just go down the columns here and create looks. So technically you could just create these 5 rows here and have 5 looks within this palette, but I'm going to kind of mix and match with them and see what I can create with them. This is very annoying, but the sun is setting, so you can kind of see some of the sun peeking in. I'm sorry about that, but this is what the first row looks like. I'm not going to say the shade names because I know I'm going to butcher them and pronounce them incorrectly, but this palette does retail for $39. It comes with 15 shades, 10 matte, and 5 shimmers, and this is inspired by Provence, and it's inspired by the lavender fields, honey-hued villages, and the sparkling coastline, which I think is really, really beautiful. I love the color story of this. It's so interesting, and I do not have anything like this in my collection with the purpley tones and the pinks and the yellow. I think it is beautiful for the spring and summertime. I definitely think I will get a lot of use out of this palette. So far from swatching it, it does seem like the normal Nomad formula. I had to turn down my lighting just a little bit with the sun peeking through, but this is what the second row looks like with all of the shimmer shades. I think this top shade is really, really beautiful. It's almost like a duochrome, which I think is so beautiful. Again, I had to turn down my lighting quite a bit, so this is pretty much just in the sunlight, but this is what the last row looks like with all of the deeper tone mattes. These swatched really, really beautifully. I didn't have any problems with them. I'm wondering what this one will look like when it's blended out. It doesn't seem like a full-on black, I would say, more of like a gray toned black, a little bit, maybe like a dark gray color, but I think these swatched really, really beautifully. I'm excited to play with this. Let me wipe off these swatches and turn up my lighting just a little bit, and then we will get into the first eye look. Primed my eyes with the Glamlight Icing eyeshadow base, and I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video, they added in a little bag of fresh lavender in the package, which I think is so cute to add with this collection. I think it's perfect for it, and I think that's a nice little touch to just have in with the package. I think it was such a great idea. But I think for the first look, I think I want to do something with the yellows and this pink row here. I want to see how well these two go together. I really wanted to try the yellow and the purple, but I think a lot of people are doing that from the videos that I have seen, so I'm going to switch it up and do the yellow and the pink. I'm going to go in with the shade Rosé. And I'm not going to bring this all the way in to my inner corner, but I'm just going to put this in my crease. For the inner part, I'm going to go in with this light pastel yellow. I'm just going to take a really, really small brush And I'm gonna place that in the inner part of my crease. I might want to deepen this up a little bit later, but I'm gonna go in with this shade here, and I'm just going to put that in my outer corner and blend it into my crease. To deepen up the inner part of my crease, I'm gonna go in with the deeper yellow shade, and I'm just gonna go a little bit lower and just kind of pack that on. Then I'm gonna go in with this pink kind of duochrome shade. I'm sorry I'm not pronouncing the names, and I know I'm gonna say them wrong. I'm just gonna take that on my finger and put that right in the center and just kind of blend it out. Then I'm gonna take this middle yellow shade and I'm just gonna put that right in the inner part of my lid. Very sparkly. It almost looks a little bit green, like a little green shift to it, which I think is very interesting. Then I think for the inner corner, I'm gonna use this shade here. I don't know, maybe I'll just do this yellow in the inner corner. Here is what the finished first eye look looks like. I love the pink and the yellow together. I think it is so beautiful. All the mattes blended out really nicely and the shimmers are really, really beautiful. This yellow one is really, really sparkly, and then the one that I put kind of in the center is a little bit more softer, but to me it seems like it's a duochrome, but I think they're both really beautiful. So this is the first look. I'm gonna take this off and then I will be back to do the other two looks. Moving on to the second eye look, I'm gonna take this shade here and I'm just gonna put this in the inner part of my crease. Then I'm gonna take this shade and I'm going to put that in the outer part of my crease. I'm gonna take the shade Macaroons and put that in the inner part of my crease, but just a little bit lower than that first shade. Same thing with this deep purple and put it in the outer part of my crease, but a little bit lower than that lighter purple. And then for a little more depth, I'm gonna go in with the black and just put that on the very outer corner. Then I'm just gonna take this purple here and I'm gonna put that right in the center of my lid. And then for the inner part of my lid, I'm gonna go in with this pinkier shade. And then for the inner corner, I'm gonna go in with this shade. Here's what the finished second look looks like. I'm gonna prime this eye off camera and we'll jump in to the last look. Starting off, I'm gonna go in with this shade here, which is kind of like a bluey gray color, so I'm interested to see how it looks on the lid. maybe just a little bit of purple in it as well. I'm just gonna put it all over the crease. Then I'm gonna go in with this shade all over the lid. It is so beautiful. It's like a bluey purple kind of gray shade, kind of the same as this matte. And I'm just gonna put it all over the lid. I'm gonna take a little angle brush and use the black shade, and I'm just going to use it as a winged liner. Is what the third eye look looks like. I did a little bit of liner here in the inner corner. I'm not sure what to call that. I'm not the best at it, but I wanted to try it out for this look. I love how deep and smoky you can go with this palette as well. Let me zoom you out and then I will give you my final thoughts. I'm sure I look weird with two different eye looks, so I'll make this quick. I love the color story of this palette. I think my favorite are these three shimmers here. I love Nomad's formula in these shimmer shades. I wish they would have done that with these two, but I think because they're duochrome, it's a little bit more of a different formula, but I love Nomad's formula with these shimmers. I also love how light and pastel you can go with this palette, but also how deep and dark and smoky you can go with this palette. Like my first look was the pinks and the yellows, and you could see how light and pastel that is, but then I have a more deeper, smokier eyeshadow look on right now. I do not like gray or black eyeshadows and silver. I do not look good with those shades. Whatever, my skin tone just does not look good with those shades. But I was a little nervous about these, but I think because these have a little bit more of a purpley blue undertone, I think this looks really nice with my skin tone. So I will be using those shades. I was a little nervous about those, but I'm happy that they worked out. I think they make my eyes really pop, which I think is really fun, but I will definitely be playing with this more. Again, I love Nomad's formula. They have great eyeshadow palettes. I love their color stories. I also love the themes of their palettes. I think it's so fun that they do themes off of where they have been, where they have traveled. I love that idea. But yeah, we'll definitely be making more looks with this and maybe doing some Instagram looks with this as well. But yeah, overall, I really like this palette. I will definitely be playing with it more. I think I used every single shade in the palette. But I want to definitely create more looks. I think I want to stick with the more monochromatic looks and then also kind of mixing and matching these. So yes, really enjoyed this palette. I would definitely recommend it. But yeah, that is everything for today's video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Logan K Makeup. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye everyone, have a good one.